Hey guys, Bay here, bringing you Nier Reincarnation, and this time, the main topic of this video will be to cover these 4 new characters that came out. I'm gonna be doing a first, at a glance, evaluation of these characters. Because, I only got Gail, which is strong, but I haven't had the time to use her yet, so it's gonna be my evaluation by just looking at each character's stats and their skills and abilities, okay? But I think I'm quite right because I did do my research on other, Japanese media, how they evaluate these characters. So yeah. And also before I go on to that, let me just inform you guys about the panel. So I think I showed you guys on the other video on the first panel, but I finished the first one and I am now able to see the second panel, and yes, there's more on the second panel. There's 16 panels and each of them are basically the same as the first panel, so you have to do more of main quests, very hard 30 times, or play dungeon stages 30 times, or what's a limited quest? Clear limited quest, I don't know what that means. Maybe like a daily quest or something like that. Yeah, probably. And yeah, basically just play the game is what they're saying. Yep. And then you get enhancing items or gems. And I guess these all adds up to 1,000 or 1,500, was it? Gems at the end. Okay? Because when I finished the first panel, I was able to get 100 gems as a completion reward. So yeah, I think those all adds up to 1,500 at the end. Yeah. So with that said, let's get into the character evaluation. So I think this is going to be good information for those who are playing the global version. I know these characters are not in the global version yet, but I'm sure they'll come to you at some point. So I think it's gonna be good to know how these characters are, and by looking at these new characters on the JP server, you'll know which direction the game is going, right? Which is good because you'll be able to you have sort of an advantage, because you'll be able to see the Japanese server how it's going, what kind of characters are appearing and ahead in advance, so that you can prepare for those. Anyways, so the new characters are Noel, Griff, Gail, and Argo, right? And yeah, first up is Noel right here. So compared to the other existing Noels, the original stats look weaker, to be honest. However, the new ability and skills make her a really strong supporter and an attacker herself. Okay, first, her ability 1. This is a new ability that boosts all party members' attack by 15% for 60 seconds. So nothing like this ever existed in the past, and this makes me feel that the official Square Enix wants us to use these characters for the upcoming raid, where you need to use 9 characters, right? Maybe, yeah. So this boosts all party members, including herself, by 15%, the first ability. And then the second ability, this is also new. This ability boosts all stats of light affinity weapons that's equipped on her by 40% each. This is big, right? So if you're wearing all three weapons that's light affinity, you'll get 40% boost on each one of those weapons. So that's gonna give her a big boost at the end. So it's not hard to imagine how strong she'll be at the end, right? So although, as I said initially, that her original stat looks weaker, this should boost her way stronger at the end. Okay, well, that is of course if you're able to have all the light affinity weapons, and also that will mean that she will be strong when it comes to opposing enemies that's weak against light, but she's gonna be a bit edgy because her affinity will be fixed there. Yeah, basically I don't think you would want her to equip something else, right? So yeah, that's the thing. But anyways, it's gonna be strong. And also her skill, this one right here. So this one is a unique and strong one too. The gauge level is C, so it can be quickly maxed out, right? And also this itself is not so strong in terms of the damage, as it gives 85% times 4, which is like usual, right? But on top of this, it boosts all party members' attack by 30% again for 30 seconds. So with, she does party boost everywhere, and I think, if you look at the party with Noel inside as a whole, it's gonna be strong for sure. Let's say, for example, I haven't measured everything in details, but let's say the past Noel is stronger when you compare the Noels, versus Noel, right? But if you look at the party with this new Noel inside as a whole, maybe it's stronger because of all her supporting boosts. Yeah, so I think this Noel is really strong. Yeah. Okay, now next up is Griff. So Griff, like Noel, this Griff is also, it's not like super OP on the original stats compared to the past ones, but the abilities and skill will make him a better character like Noel, okay? And for example, ability 1, this is something new. So this gives damage boost by 40% when his HP is above 70. So this is like 2P's skill, but easier to maintain because you only need 70% of his HP. Well, 70 is pretty high, but still, that 2P needed 80. So, compared to that, it's easier, right? So that's the first ability. And the second ability here is, so it's the water version of Noel's ability, okay? So whatever water affinity weapons that he equips will have all stats boost by 40%. Yeah, so this can be strong too. And as for his skill, right here, so the gauge level is C, so it's quick, and it gives 120 times 3 damage. This is normal, but plus on top of that, it debuffs enemies' attack by 50%. Okay? Enemies' attack by 50. So compared to Noel, I think this Griff is good too, but for his skill, it lowers the opponent's or enemy's attack power. So it doesn't really affect the party's attack, right? Like Noel, it buffs team members' attack by 30%, but Griff, it lowers the enemy's attack by 50. So the percentage is bigger, but it doesn't directly affect the party members' attack power. So maybe this can be useful. Again, maybe at the upcoming raid, if the bosses have like really powerful attack powers, then this skill might be really useful. But you never know yet. So I think Noel is more like easier to use, and I guess she'll be able to utilizes her skill on whatever stage, whereas Griff, it might be on some stages his skill might not be so powerful because you might not need to lower the enemy's attack power. Yeah, okay, so that's Griff, but he's strong for sure. And next up is Gail. Okay, so Gail, compared to the first two characters, it's not that unique. She has all the existing skills, but what's so strong about her is she's really edgy on attack compared to the existing Gails. The new one has the highest attack from the original stats already, and on top of this, all her abilities and skill boosts damage. So for example, ability 1, so this is the same as Griff, where she gets, this is a new ability. It's the same as Griff. So she gets 40% boost on damage when her HP is above 70%. Okay, and then ability 2 is vigor, so it boosts her attack by 25%, right? And then her skill. So this one is so the gauge level is C, so it's quick again, and it does 85% times 4 damage plus debuffs enemy's defense by 50%. So unlike Griff, who lowered the opponent enemy's attack power by 50, this Gail lowers enemy's defense by 50. So this affects the party's attack power, right? Because this lowers, debuffs enemy's defense, which means we'll be able to give more damage, right? So all her skill and abilities, it really matches her, original stats, being a strong attacker. So with these all combined, I think maybe she might be the #1 attacker up to date in the game. Yeah. She might have the strongest power, yeah. So that is her. So compared to Griff and Noel, this Gail is more easy to understand because, it simply buffs, her attack. That's it, or, debuffs the enemy's defense, but that, eventually means it gets more damage, so it's the same thing, right? So yeah, so I think this Gail is just simply strong. Yes. And last but not least, Argo. So his original stats are weighted on attack this time, and it is the most powerful attacker out of all the existing Argos, okay? And his abilities, #1 is vigor and boosts his attack by 25%. And ability 2 is pursuit, which boosts damage by 30% on the 3rd or more hits, above 3rd hit, okay? So it has to be multiple hit, and then from 3rd and on, he gets 30% boost on the damage. And his skill, so this is something I am questioning about. I don't know why, but all 3 other characters had gauge C, but then he has P, so it's sort of unfair. But that may be because of the special ability that's on this skill. Okay, so this skill, it gives 80% damage plus gives stun to all enemies with 60% chance. And the 2nd or more hits will get additional 60% on damage. So, it just doesn't match a bit because this skill only gives single damage 80%, right? But, this additional skill ability does 60% boost on 2nd or further hits. Or his ability also does, 3rd or and on hits to get additional buff, right? But his skill is not a multiple hit, so it doesn't make sense a little bit, but I don't know. Yeah, so it's a bit awkward, to be honest. And it's a bit weird, but there is a possibility that this stun might be super useful at some stages, right? Because it's 60% chance to all enemies. So if there's like multiple enemies that's quite strong, then you might be able to stun like two enemies at once, because 60% means 1 or more when there's 3 opponents, right? So that can't be the case. Or like when in arena, maybe he's annoying. Yeah, he might be annoying. Yeah. So that's who was this guy? Argo. Yeah. So that is my first impression evaluation, and I think basically all 4 characters are unique or strong, so it's good. It's good. It's all good. But if I am to rank these characters, I would say #1 would be Noah, and then #2 would maybe Gail would come #2, and then Griff, and then Argo. Yeah, that's my honest opinion, at least for now, my first impression, okay? So that is it for my evaluation of these 4 new characters for the half anniversary. And don't forget that, if you want these characters, the official already announced that these characters are limited time characters, so you have to pull on these banners, okay? Or else they'll disappear after this period, okay? And also, one more thing you have to be careful of is there's 2 banners after you pull out the free one. Okay, there's first 3 banners with the same images, but the first one on top is the free pull. So once you're done with that disappears, and then there's 2 more. So I was like, why are there 2? And then I found out that the first one is Fest, and the second one is normal Gacha. And I was like, why do you have to separate these? And then if you look at the rate, right, Fest gives 10% altogether for 4S characters and weapons combined, okay? 4% for character, 6% for weapon. But if you look inside, right, there's no like pickup rate. The rate is it's all equal, the new 4 characters or the old characters, they're all mixed up with 0.18181% equally. So if you're aiming for these new characters and you don't care about the old ones, then you might want to go for the non-Fest Gacha, the second banner, because if you look at this banner's rate, for example, so this one right here, this is Griff. He has 0.375, which is like double the previous banner's rate, okay? Or Argo, it's the same. Gail is the same, and Noel is the same. So yeah. And for those who might have seen my previous gacha that's in Japanese, sorry, but I didn't know about this because I took that video like right after this event came, so I didn't have the time to check, right? Because it's important for us YouTubers to do it quickly, right? So I did it, and I pulled the Fest one, and I messed up, to be honest. Well, I fortunately got one new character, which was good, but yeah. So be careful, think carefully, okay? So that is about it for this time's video. Thanks for watching all the way up to the end, and please do sub and like the channel to support, and stay tuned for more because I'll be bringing up more and more JP app and global app on this game, and of course other games as well. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and bye.